Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the Julie Show. And you know what? Today is January 4th, 2021. It marks 1 month since the Julie and Milo Show coming to you from my home in Newport and from Milo in Nashville, Tennessee. Milo, please say hello.
How are you guys doing today?
Thank you, Milo. Yes, we've been around for 1 month mark today, and we have 25 videos coming to you. And every single time when we get together, we talk about Onpassive. We're talking about connecting people from all over the world. We have people from the UK, from India. We'll be having people from Asia, from Africa. We have people from everywhere. And yes, Onpassive is a place for many of us connecting together from all over the world. And it all started with Mr. Ash Mufarad. And today we have a community that has been with Onpassive for over 2 years. And we've always make the Julie and Milo Show a special place for many of us founders getting together, getting to know people. So today we have a special founder here with us, and I would like to have Milo share and introduce our guest today. Milo?
Well, thank you, Julie. I can't believe it's been only a month. It seems longer than that we've been doing this show, but what incredible people we've met. And no different today. Even though sometimes people think their story might not be that interesting or they might not be that interesting, everybody's got a story. And this one, I'm so excited to bring it to you and for you to hear the story of Kevin Rutledge. Kevin, come on out. There he is.
Welcome to the show, Kevin.
Well, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Oh man, we couldn't wait to get you on the show. We're excited about what we're going to hear today on the show from you and to hear your story. So let's just start. I know you're from Bloomington, Illinois, and you did something that was sort of in my vein of work. I sold lumber to contractors and stuff. You know, that was my occupation. I mean, I had a lot of them, but that was the last one, I guess. And I understand you were a builder. Tell us a little about that.
Yeah, I've done a lot of things too. I started off, washing dishes, believe it or not. I was 14, but as you get older, I was probably just out of high school, and I started building houses with a couple of buddies I went to high school with. And then my brother, he was a union carpenter at the time. He was working in a shop. But he says, man, if you want to be a carpenter, he says, you got to go out and, get in the hall and become a union carpenter. I was like, all right, well, I'd hurt my back when I was still building houses. So I went through my first back surgery. And then when I recovered out of that, then I decided I'd go through the apprenticeship. And so I went through the 4-year apprenticeship, became a journeyman carpenter, and that's how I spent most of my life.
Wow.
Making my living.
Very cool, very cool. Very interesting things that you have done in life. Tell us some of that interesting things. I know that you've been working in the middle of the Indian Ocean. Tell us that.
Well, that was the coolest job I ever had. I like war movies, and one of my favorite movies is Fury, about tank squad. But I was super privileged. I wanted to be a CB. I don't know if you know what that is, but they were more suited probably for what I ended up doing, as carpentry, and that is they're the guys that the operators and whatever, heavy equipment operators that, go in and build the runways and the bases and that sort of thing. And that's really what I wanted to do. But my recruiter, I think he used to be a used car salesman, and he talked me into going into aviation. So that sounded pretty cool to a young guy, working on airplanes and stuff, So I went ahead and signed up and did that. And I went down to Tennessee for school after basic. Did my basic out in San Diego, San Diego, and then I went to Memphis, Millington, to go to school. I call it A school, and then I ended up back in San Diego at Miramar, was my base. And so I was in a 14 fighter squadron, VF-24 fighting renegades, and best job I ever had. Being out in the middle of the Indian Ocean in the middle of the night, you can't see anything. In the daytime, all you can see is water. And it's pitch black. All you got is the lights off the boat. You're shooting planes off one end, you're catching them on the other. I mean, you know, you're 20 years old, you feel like you're floating. You know, it's just, it's crazy. It's most crazy experience I've ever experienced in my whole life. And but yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Oh, that's awesome. I imagine there's some scary moments out there in the dark and stuff, but you
Well,
know,
it's something you want to pay attention to.
so Kevin, we all have things that happen to us in life, and your story is so incredible. When you were telling us, it was so heartfelt. I want you to, if you don't mind, just tell that story like you were telling us before. You start wherever you want to, and you just take as much time as you need to tell this story, because I think it's something that needs to be heard, and it's a great story.
Okay. Well, thanks. Well, where to start? This thing, it gets pretty convoluted, but no, I guess, you know, we all have a why. You know, that's a good place to start. And I always had a trouble kind of identifying my why at first. I got into this business for the wrong reasons. I wasn't really in the best, didn't have the best attitude at first, and it's probably why it took as long as it did to get, you know, see any kind of real success. But no, I had to think about my why, and when my wife and I met, she already had a daughter. I wasn't the father, but um, that little girl was born perfect, and she acquired a infection. We lost her at 3 years old, and the infection led to her having encephalitis, and her ended up severely brain damaged. And we lost her, you know, at 3 years old, like I said, and it devastated my wife. My wife, she was devoted to that child 24/7, every day, you know, that child's life. And when we lost her, she sat at a kitchen table for a year, and I would go to work and I'd come home and she'd still be there. And it was a horrible thing to witness, you know, a human being go through. And but along with that came, you know, this lawsuit, this malpractice suit. So there was talk of, you know, enormous sums of money. And we're just a couple of Midwestern kids, man. We don't, you know, we never went without. We grew up with the important things, you know what I mean, the things that money can't buy. And but we don't really know what, you know, living that way was like. Okay, so we're talking, you know, what are we going to do? You know what, you know, we don't need anything like that. So after we had our needs met, what would we do? And so the talk, you know, got along to, you know, like foundations and stuff like that, and starting, you know, funds or whatever, you know, for, you know, kids that need help. We knew it was going to, you know, it was going to be about kids, and we knew that it was going to have her name tied to it, and that was pretty much all we'd figured out. But you know, life happens, and things don't always turn out like they're supposed to, and you know, sometimes lawyers talk and doctors make deals and whatever, and so that didn't pan out for whatever reason. And so we go on through our lives, you know, and I become a carpenter, and we, you know, we do life, you know, we raise a couple of kids, and everything's fine, and I had I had another hurdle I had to get over. I had a problem with alcohol when I was younger, and I let it back into my life. I started dabbling with it a little bit, and it ruined my marriage. And so I ended up, you know, separated from my wife and kids, and that's the state I was in when I lost her. I lost her in 2009, and it changed my world, my already changed world. It changed it again. I felt like I've been living in a twilight zone, and but I was different. You know, it was 12 years sober, and I was able to be a father to my kids. I was able to get through all that without a drink, and I was real fortunate for that. But I got into marketing to make a bunch of money so I could, because I was mad at the world, and I just wanted to check out, and I just wanted to make a bunch of money and go do my thing. And through recovery, through loss, through experience, through great leadership, finally getting to a point where I could follow directions, I started doing some things that turned my life around and led me to this path. And 2 years ago, I got involved with Onpassive because of my sponsor in network marketing. I work with a guy named Alan Cousins, who I can't say enough good things about. And Alan does it right, and he does it the way I want to do it. He does it ethically. He does it honestly. He's a no bones kind of guy who tells you straight out what you need to do. And I'll tell you straight out, the only reason I haven't been successful to this point is attitude, is largely attitude, and work. I'm lazy. I'll be the first one to tell you. And the reason I'm here is because Alan sent me an email that said that this thing was fully automated, and I wouldn't have to lift a finger. I said, sign me up. Sounds like it's perfect for me. And I was in the wrong, you know, I was in the wrong space. I'd been beat up, spit out, you know, chewed up, spit out. I was about done with the whole thing. About fed up with the whole making money online thing, you know. I'll just go out and get a part-time job. You know, I'll make $1,200, $1,500 a month, and I'll limp my way into retirement fully, because I'm still not fully retired, meaning I'm not collecting benefits. I'm a carpenter. I'll never be retired. I got a tree out in my backyard. I almost took my power out. I own a home. You know, there are no days off. But I'm loving every minute of it. But no, I mean, I got into Onpassive to, you know, for all the wrong reasons. But I'm here because of leadership, and I stay here because of leadership. And this is a godsend for me. It really is a godsend. But did I answer your question?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Milo, did you wanted to ask?
No, go ahead, Julie.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Kevin. What a story. And wow, I just don't know what to say. That's thank you for sharing that story with us. And yeah, that makes this show is real, because we have real people that have real story, and we sharing that with people. And wow, it's incredible. I'm trying to get my mind around to get back on the show, but something happened at your place today. There's the tree branch that fell off.
Yeah, we had an ice storm night before, and I lost a pretty good sized branch, and at first it got hung up, and so it was on the main coming in, and it tore off the, you know, the I don't even know what you call that thing, but there's a wire that goes down to the roof that takes the tension off the line. Well, it tore that right off the roof. So now the line is under tension. That's a weatherhead, is what they call that, where it goes in your house.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of looks like that thing. And the wires in. So the tension now is just, you know, it's just pulling on. It's a little bit, I was telling Milo, I'm just waiting for the power to get ripped out. If another branch comes down and hits it, it probably will go. But
well, hopefully it won't do it during our show, right?
well, I think we'll be okay with battery power for a while.
There you go. All right. Well, Kevin, your story is just incredible, and so many of us have been through things not quite like that. You know, there was some tragic things that happened there to you, and it's so good to see that, you know, you come back around or whatever. But I can only imagine. One thing I like to say about Onpassive is, you know, when we first get in, sometimes we get in that we're going to make money. We're going to make this money. But I think as we get in and we start listening to Ash's heart, to the passion, and to the other passion and heart of other people within Onpassive, I do feel that Onpassive is going to change the world one person at a time, you know, starting with Ash McFarland, and it's going to change all humanity. And I like to say, you know, that when we first get in, we're thinking about the money that we're going to make and stuff. And then that all goes away because we know it's going to happen. You know, we can see the writing on the wall, but then there's that other aspect of how are we going to be able, how much money are we going to be able to take and give back? And I feel like that, you know, that's something that you're looking at. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I was just I made some notes here because you know how I am. I ramble. But what I wrote down here is Onpassive allows me to be who I am without sacrificing my values. Now, I've been in businesses before. I didn't exactly have to sacrifice my values, but I didn't have something that I believed in like I do here. Okay. And it's not just our products,
Right,
or our company, it's our people. It's the whole thing. Okay. I get an honest, ethical way to do business online from the comfort of my home or anywhere I can get a signal. And I get a real ability to make real change for real people. I like to say we're in the smile business or the hope business,
yeah,
you know, because I know, I don't think, I know. You know what the difference is? I mean, I know.
right,
I know I could put this, I have to be careful who I put this in front of.
right.
There was a time in my life where you would have dropped something this offer in my life, it would have been the worst thing for me. You know? So there's people like that out there. But yeah, I mean, and that's out of my pay grade. I leave that, you know, up to a higher power to figure out who needs to hear this and who doesn't. But no, like I said before, I'm here because of leadership. The potential that we have is unbelievable. I believe in Ash, period. I've never seen anybody like him. And I'll tell you what, it's amazing how we all got here because those first two videos were horrible. I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it. If I made them, I would say the same thing. But I'm not a public speaker either, okay? But you know what? There's something to that. See, there's something to that. Because, you know, like I don't do, you know, I'm not a public speaker. I'm not, you know, this or that or whatever. And nobody is. Nobody here is. But we're all just being ourselves. We're all just doing our thing. And look what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Look what's happening. Hey, it's okay for Milo to be himself. Hey, it's okay for Julie to be herself. Hey, maybe I can be myself. Maybe there's something locked inside of me that, you know, I can offer to the world.
Absolutely.
You know, that's what's happening. It's so cool. It's so cool to be a part of.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So in your eyes, what do you see Onpassive in the next 5 years?
Oh boy. I can't figure out the next 5 weeks.
But
I can only imagine. I'm going to take it. Well, I'm a one day at a time guy. That's where I'm supposed to stay. But yeah, I mean, we've seen the writing on the wall. I mean, holy cow, 5 years.
unimaginable, isn't it?
I can only look back, at the last 2 years, what we've done. And what we've done in 2 years, I mean, technology wise, it should have taken 5 years, I believe.
Right.
And so that's what, if you want to see the future, look at the history. And I can't believe, I don't know where we're going to be in 5 weeks. It's going to be impressive. I can't wait. In 5 years, that's way out of my pay grade.
Absolutely. I think out of everyone, we have no idea where this thing is going, but we do know it's massive, and we can look and we can see what's happening in the world today. All we got to do is look and see what's happening in the world. And this answers a lot of the problems we have right now. You take Academy, how is that going to work out with the schools, and stuff like that? You got that going, and just the different, I think of in Nashville, the music industry, the music industry is hurting right now. But when you talk about Old Connect, and you can put an artist in front of 1 million people with a live show, or how about a TV show or something where, people make movies and they can put it in front of 1 million people without going to the movie theater. You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden you put it on the screen. It's like some of this stuff just blows my mind where it can go, with the thing. So it's just awesome. But I know we're kind of running out of time here, but Kevin, I want to thank you, man, because your story resonated so much with me, and what you've gone through, how you're looking forward, smiling. There's nothing better than seeing a smile and seeing hope with people. I believe that is something that we can offer everybody hope. We can offer them a smile, and it doesn't cost us anything, So anyway, I appreciate you coming on the show. Your story was awesome.
Well, thank you, sir. This was a blast. I had a blast. I'm glad you guys asked me. It's a real honor being here. Real honor being in Onpassive and being a founder. I tell you, it's just it's unbelievable. One other thing I wanted to say was about an attitude of our company. We got a no one left behind attitude, and we are the correction to the corruption, as Ash said.
I love that.
And when you were talking about the music industry, I have a boy that's a drummer, and that's a whole nother story in itself. But now, what about self-promotion? How many people do we need to hear from, good musicians that can't get a break because
Absolutely.
because a producer or promoter or somebody doesn't want to give it to them?
That's huge. Yeah.
Yeah,
Now we get to decide who's good.
absolutely. I mean, and well, the thing about it is what a lot of guys don't realize is you're talking now. You can advertise or you can play to 212 countries. There's all these little countries that are dying to hear good music, and they might not have it. Well, now they can get it because you can just do it online. I can see it changing the whole industry. By selling CDs, selling music across the world, because now you got the old wallet also, which I like to say is that is your world bank, that
Exactly.
you can collect money from any place, So I think the whole thing's going to change the music industry. I don't know if you've seen the video that we did on the Julie Milo show where we said, how is Onpassive going to help the music industry? And we go through a lot of that, But you know, it's just that sometimes you don't think outside the box. What can this actually do? Many things. There's so many things that when you expand your mind, it's like you said, you can't even think that big.
No.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the way how Ash is taking it. Every time he comes on, he just expanding our mind, and it's incredible. Any last words you want to share with our audience?
I'll just, piggyback on what you just said there about Ash. Yeah, and like what just happened here with me and Milo. Milo's talking about the music industry. He sparked something in me. And then I share that with Milo, and that sparked something in you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it all works. Is this collaboration versus competition?
Absolutely.
See, we got bad data, is what my sponsor likes to call it. And we've been sold this story that we can only do it one way. And that can't be further from the truth.
That's true.
When we collaborate, there is nothing we can't do.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a beautiful ride. I'm having a blast. I've never had so much fun.
Yeah, we too.
And I've had a lot of fun.
Yeah. Lots of love. Yeah, lots of love in Onpassive. So thank you so much, Kevin, for being here with us and sharing your story. There you have it, everyone. Every time when we get together on the Julie and Milo show, we're connecting people. We spark some sparks in each other, and we're just expanding it. So thank you so much for turning into our show. It's been 1 month since we've been here, and we're loving it, and we hope that you love it too. And if you hear this message, please get back with the person who shared this with you. And if you are a Onpassive founder, please continue to plug in, continue to explore, and continue to share. Thank you so much for being here with us. We see you next time. Take care.
Good night from Nashville.